Bevy, I'm on the chair because a couple of months ago I said I'd do this to be with you through the journey. It's been a tough few months. Tell us what's going on.
Since the 21st of January, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. It just did turn my world upside down. Literally, I have actually had 2 operations. I've had a mastectomy. I've had my lymph nodes removed. Talk about dignity. Cancer has no dignity at all. I have already had 2 rounds of chemotherapy, and after each chemotherapy I've actually had to be hospitalised for a week at each time. So out of the 3, every 3 weeks, out of 2, I'm actually in hospital or in bed for 2 weeks. So so I'm just about to go into my 3rd round tomorrow. So I'm just hoping that this round will be much better than the last 2.
It's been a journey for you. What do you think your biggest fears and your biggest challenges have been?
My biggest fears and challenges was actually accepting that I did have breast cancer. When the doctor told me that what I had, I walked out of surgery and I thought, oh, is this for real? The doctor actually even made an appointment with me for 2 days later because I'm sure he thought that I wouldn't do anything about it. The first thoughts, I thought, well, who do I tell? Because, if the doctor rings me up and says this is all a mistake, I'm the one that's going to look like an idiot. So I just didn't really know how to handle, the acceptance of having cancer. One of my biggest fears, and I hope I don't get upset, was telling my kids, because they'd already lost their dad when they were very young with cancer. And I sort of thought, how am I going to be strong for them? Because I've always been the strong one in the family. So, I sort of had to think, well, how am I going to tell these kids in a way that they're not going to be worried about me? So that was probably one of my fears. And I wasn't fearful about the next one, but I kept thinking, now I've got to tell Stan that he's got to be my rock. So he now calls himself the rock, and he has been. Telling all my family, my friends, because everybody always said to me, oh yes, but you're strong, you'll handle this. And until you go through it, you're not really that strong. So, so it was just finding that strength for everyone else, I guess.
Let's start shaving our heads. Let's take a little bit of a break from the questions, and I'd love to thank Jaden for coming down from Cutthroat Syndicate, and Liam, I think, is going to take a great deal of pleasure in shaving my head from Lad Social. So let's do that.
I haven't really got that much hair to shave, but I've got a few little twigs there.
I think there'd only be 6 people that have seen you without your scarf on since you've lost all your hair.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Actually, it's been quite funny because my grandkids, as everyone knows, are everything to me. Lucy she's the second youngest. She was the first one to see it, and she just loves it. She keeps wanting me to take my scarf off and look at it. Rose's comment the other day, oh, you look pretty good, Nan. And Belle's the same, but I spook Addie. When I take my scarf off or my cap, she'll say, Nini, go and put your cap on. Yeah, and then she tells me where it is. So, yeah, she gets a bit spooked. My grandson thinks that I just rock, so, yeah, so they've been really good. I mean, Stan he doesn't care. He loves me the way I am anyway, so. And, yeah.
Good. I reckon you look all right with a bald head.
Yeah, well, if anyone could look okay with a bald head. I'm not sure whether I do, but...
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about what I'm going to look like, but let's get into it. Let's start the shaving and I'll get a few more questions in.
Want me to...
Yeah.
You ready for me?
Yeah.
So, Bev, with the last 2 months behind you, you've got through the last 2 months and had the operations and 2 rounds of chemo and ended up in hospital on both occasions. Looking back on it, what's helped you get through the battle?
Look, I think at the top of the list, my faith has got me through, because without faith, I don't think you've got anything. My husband Stan has been my rock. He's been my everything to me. So I wouldn't have been able to get through that without him. My fantastic family and friends, they've, a lot of my friends have been, this is the second journey they've had to go through over the last 34 years. So they've been really important. My grandkids are just an important part. And my friends from McGrath, from work here, I mean, without them, I would not have been able to have, go through the operations, the chemotherapy and the things that I've actually had to go through without they've taken the worry out of a lot of things for me. So, yeah. But yeah, it takes a big, it's a big thing for other people to help you go through it, because sometimes, and I've known this from things in the past, that that the person that's going through it, it's easier for them than what it is for people seeing, being around and being with you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's harder for them because, they're seeing that person go through this.
Mm-hmm. But this is a little bit of a cathartic thing for you to do, I think. Revealing the head and doing that for the first time in public. But it's probably also an opportunity for us to try and support a young family in Rocky that's going through the same thing.
I love you, Tony.
So the Crew family, Amy and Ben. Amy's only at the age of 30.
She's been diagnosed with breast cancer as well, and she's got a young family, and there's, I'm hoping that this will actually help them as well. And originally when we were going to do this, we were going to sort of ask for donations for the Cancer Council, because, everyone here, well, not everybody, but lots of people have been touched by cancer, and it's and it's not a very nice thing to go through. This young couple, they've got a young family, and they've got a GoFundMe page. So if anyone would like to donate to the GoFundMe page, we would actually like to give someone else a helping hand.
Absolutely. Thanks for helping me get through that, Bev.
I never helped Todd get through anything.
But good on you, Bev. You're inspirational.
And thank you, Toddy. So, who looks more beautiful? I should have brought in a scarf and some lipstick for you.
I might try it later on this afternoon. Look, thanks to Jaden and to lads and to the guys at the office. you know, hopefully this is an awareness about how tough it is for families to get through this.
And also Todd's, you know, he's been through this cancer with his dad, and quite a few years ago as well. So our whole families and you know have been touched by cancer, and Todd was only 13, and he knew exactly firsthand, you know, what his father was going through.
Jaden, how am I looking, mate?
Amazing.